And now I want to invite dear Mrs. Elinora to come and deliver her speech.
Mr. President, Mr. Corey, ladies and gentlemen, it's nice to be here in Istanbul, and thank you for inviting me to speak. I will talk about some Icelandic projects and the innovation process, inventors' needs regarding these projects, demands from the society, and if these projects are successful or not. I will talk about European statistics regarding women and disabled people in entrepreneurship, their obstacles and challenges. I will tell you about results from a survey I did send out to the Icelandic Inventors Association last month. And finally, I will propose some ideas for IFIA. There are 250 members in Icelandic Inventors Association, thereof 105 women. I will tell you about 4 different projects. The first project is about a turbine to harvest the small tides of the sea. The inventor has no university degree, no higher education. He has lived in the country by the seas in Iceland. He has been unemployed since the crisis 2008 and started his turbine project then. His turbine is very promising and he has applied for a patent. He won the IFIA International Gold Prize in Sweden in 2009. He got a 3-year support from one of our state funds in Iceland and has been struggling to get more financial support because it takes more than 3 years to develop a turbine. The next project is a new medical method to cure ear infection. This lady, inventor, came up with this idea in 1996. She has no higher education, no university degree, and she is disabled. She has chronic fatigue disease. She has 2 children who got the ear infection, and she found out some herb extracts were useful curing the infection. She went to the Innovation Center in Iceland to get some help, but without any result. Then she contacted one specialist in one of our hospitals and in infection, who did some testings, and the results were very promising. They founded a company in 1999 and applied for patent. They are a team of researchers, doctors, and one from the Venture Capital Fund in Iceland who has supported the project with about $800,000. The inventor's part in the company gets smaller and smaller. She only has 30% of the company now and has no power anymore. The team does not listen to her and decided to stop paying for the patent in 2014 and move the project to the university and start all over again. But the project is still promising. The third project is a computer game. The inventor has a university degree and some experience from the media. He founded his company in 2010 and got financial support and went to the Silicon Valley in USA, got more investors, and has sold shares in his company and is now a millionaire. There has been no demand of patent on this project. The fourth project is a simple idea of using byproduct from the fish industry, who usually was thrown away, and make a treat of dogs out of it. The inventor has no education nor experience regarding the fish industry. She took part in a business plan competition in 1998 of the Innovation Fund without any result. She kept on, bought a fish factory, and her husband made a website, and she started to produce and sell to USA a high-quality product with trademark. 2007, she sold the factory and did an agreement with a producer, and she takes care of the selling. She has applied many times for financial support without any result, but she would need some support for marketing. These projects are all different. They have different needs, and the support system have different demands on them. To be a successful project, then the support system has to listen to the inventor. The innovation process has to be continuous, and they need to have the financial support all the way to the market. Iceland is an island in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean, where the blue arrow is pointing on Iceland. The inhabitants is only 330,000, not millions, thousands. The local market is small, but very good as a test market for new products. The inventive people have to think and act globally to be successful. The shipping cost is high, and you are far away from your customers. Can factors like residence, age, gender, education, disability, and type of invention affect the success of innovation? The simplest answer is yes. When we look at inventors' needs, demands from the support system regarding the innovation process, then we can see that if this project is going to be successful, then we cannot have a simple support system who shall fit all projects. The system and the financial support has to be flexible and look at each project's needs. This is a picture of a simplified innovation process. You have your idea, you make your plans. The second phase is you develop your prototype and do some testings and research. And the third phase is when you produce your product and bring it to the market. But too many projects never make it to the phase 3. Often it is because of too little financial support, inventors' needs are not met, or the team is not listening. Lack of knowledge in the team, too long developing phase, and lack of effectiveness in the team. Can type of invention matter regarding the time it takes to be successful? If we look at the turbine project, then we can see that the support system is not listening to the inventor's needs for financial support. He has got support for 3 years. He has been struggling for the last 2 years to get more funding. The developing and research phase is long when you have a big idea like this turbine. His lack of education is also an obstacle. For him, he has little respect from the support system. Also, regarding the ear infection project, the lack of success is because of the team is not listening to the inventor, nor has any respect for her because of her lack of education. The research and development phase has been long, but has not been driven forward by passion. In both projects, the support system has demanded patents before funding. Regarding the computer game, the inventor was lucky to get financial support early in the process so he could hire co-workers. He moved to the Silicon Valley to be closer to the future market, he got more funding also. The support system has no demands or patent on the project. Investors are willing to invest in projects like computer games because they know they will get their profits within few years. Most of the inventors in computer games are young men. In a simple invention like the dog treat, the support should have been in form of funding to buy machines and equipment or to advise doing license agreement and marketing support. But there were no willingness to support. The inventor has experienced that the product is not worthy, and if she had made something different out of the raw material, who would have been classified as biotechnical, then the attitude had been different. Resistance and closeness to the market can affect the success of projects. If you have your product on the local market, then you are close to your customers. If you are on the global market and live in an island like Iceland, then you have high shipping costs and you are far from your customers. IP rights can affect your project success. When you have technical or medical inventions, then the support system demands patent protection. It is expensive and the financial support have to be reliable, which is not the case in the Icelandic projects. Trademarks are usually enough when you have a product who can be first on the market. To make a prototype differs both in time and costs. Both technical and medical inventions need more financial support, more time in research and development, and they need also more qualified team. More simple products like dog treat and computer games can be put sooner on the market. Financial support must be available for the project until the final product is ready to enter the market. The support must be flexible depending on the type of invention, but constant and reliable. The team in each project is crucial to be successful. The perfect team is when each and everyone is using their strength and passion to develop the invention and bring it to the market. The cooperation in the projects is often bad. Sometimes the team doesn't listen to the inventor because he or she is not educated enough. As I said earlier, this is the case in the two of these Icelandic projects, the turbine and the ear infection. The computer game project is successful because the team was perfect and they got financial support early. The investors are also keen on supporting products like computer games because of immediate profit. The success of the dog treat project goes slowly, but because of lacking of financial support, it is though a very promising product and the customers are happy. To be successful as an inventor, you have to have the 4M, as I call them. You have to have a mentor, someone who has done this before. You have to have the money, the investors. You have to have the makers, the producers, and you have to have the market to be successful. European statistics on regarding women in entrepreneurships. We have only 5 to 15% of science and technology companies owned by women in Europe. Less than 9% of women inventors in Europe has granted patent, and 20% of the women are accessing venture capital for money to put up a business compared with 80% of men. They ask for less also. But what does women say about entrepreneurs? Their obstacles are the lack of female role models, lack of access to venture capital, lack of access to high-tech networks, and difficulties in becoming credible innovators in a male-dominated environment like in science and technology. They see challenges also. Lack of risk-taking mentality, they are careful. Society not supporting female entrepreneurship, conflicts between being a mother and an inventor, loneliness as an inventor. Obstacles faced by disabled people. They have a lack of role models as disabled inventors, lack of working ability, and not able to take financial risk. The disabled people may have a good idea and a brain that is working, but their body is not functioning. They would need a good team to work with and a financial support. In February, I did a survey. I sent out a survey to the Icelandic Inventors Association. The responders to the survey are 28 to 81 years of age, 50% women and 50% men. I asked them if they had a patent, design protection, or trademark. 27% of them have patent, 30% have a design protection, and 58% have a trademark. I asked them if they had applied for funding, and 85% of them had applied in 11 different funds, banks and funds. 73% of them have got support from $1,000 to almost $800,000, but the average amount was $8,000. So it's a rather small amount. 58% have their product on the market, and half of them are on the global market. Some started 1985, half of them after the crisis 2008, and 30% have brought more than one product to the market, and one of them 25 products, and it's a designer. Those who have not put their product on the market complain about a lack of money. The product is still in development, and the sales and the marketing is complicated. I asked them if they would need help with the license agreement, and 52% of them said they would. 79% would use help from TTC, Technology Transfer Center. 63% say it is not easier for men to realize their ideas. But what support is lacking in the innovation process in Iceland? Salaries while developing the project. 100% funding for projects, but now it's 50%. You call it krona to krona, or you have to apply somewhere else to get the other krona. Simpler or easier application process for grants, support to buy tools and machines, investors with patience, angel investors are needed, working space with tools, workshops to make prototypes, help needed with the commercialization, help needed with certificates and approvals like CE marking in the EU countries, help with technology transfer and license agreement. What can IFIA do? My suggestion is that IFIA consider this: to put up online marketing center where you can look for cooperation like team search, maybe sell your patent, or if you have an idea, but you need entrepreneurs to take it forward. To put up online lawyers help who can advise inventors regarding license agreement and help with patent infringement. To organize meetings with for inventors with investors or purchasing manager or producers, the inventor or one of the team has to pitch or introduce his project. These meetings can be by sectors and must not be overcrowded. And last, online list of producers who are willing and has experience of working with inventors. The conclusions. Inventors are not homogeneous group, they are different, have different needs. The support system is often one fit all, but the reality is different. Factors like the residence, age, gender, education, disability, and the type of invention can affect the success of innovation. And IFIA should consider online marketing center and lawyer helps for inventors, list of producers, and the pitch your product meetings. Finally, inventors need a respect, even though they have not higher education. Inventors are doers, and many of them hate paperwork, especially Excel sheets. They need to be heard and listened to. They need the support not only financially, but also mentally. IFIA may have the leading role in making a difference for inventor success. Together, we can make the difference. Thank you.